A very good morning to you, Dave McCarthy from McCarthy & Associates this afternoon. Dave, morning to you.
Morning, Keith.
A number of issues. I'm going to start off first with a new initiative in relation to solicitors to encourage people to draw up wills, and frightening statistic that we were just talking about, the amount of people who don't make a will, even if they have nothing to leave.
Yeah, 2/3 of people in this country have no will. If you were to go out and ask people in the street, what would they think the percentage would, I said they'd even be shocked at that. It's quite extraordinary.
But some people always say, look, I have nothing to leave,
Look, most people have something to leave, and, even if it's not something you need to think about when you're, 60 years of age. Most people have something, and it's really, it's I suppose the standard thing that we should all have in our affairs. So what they're doing is that there's a particular how will I put it, initiative next week whereby 200 solicitors in this country are providing the facility to make a will for a cost of only €50. You can go onto a website called mylegacy.ie, that's mylegacy.ie, and you will see a list of solicitors in the Galway area who are involved in this initiative. So I think it's important that people listening this morning who don't have a will would, be encouraged to maybe take this on board and finally sort it out.
Okay, I saw in the papers recently, a caller said that the Credit Review Office has helped a number of businesses to obtain a loan from their bank when they've been refused previously. I have a small business and I'm somewhat puzzled by this, as I was recently spoke to my bank about a loan facility they refused without even proceeding further to an application. Should I contact the Credit Review Office? Do you think they can help me now?
The problem here is you actually physically have to make the application and have it refused before the Credit Review Office can do anything to help you. They came out with figures recently showing the number of businesses that they've helped and the number of applications that they assisted in having overturned for people who refused credit by their bank. But the problem here is that the vast majority of applications don't even get to that stage. They're told verbally by their bank that they're not going to get it. And there's a constant battle going on between the figures from this Credit Review Office and ISME, the Small Firms Association, who are coming up with, I suppose, what I would describe as far more accurate statistics of their members who are having experiences of being refused by the banks. So the reality of it is that the Credit Review Office figures, in my opinion, are not reflective of what's happening out there. So unless you get to a stage of actually physically making an application, which I would recommend that person to do, if you have it refused and you feel you've got grounds to take it further, then get in touch with the Credit Review Office.
All right, last week Keith Day was talking about payment protection insurance. I have a credit card with MBNA and I have insurance attached to it, and I have a personal loan with AIB. Can you tell me what is likely to happen in my case?
Well, as I mentioned last week, this is a major scandal, this payment protection insurance issue. The Central Bank have instructed all the banks to undertake a review of the sale of these products over the last, I can't remember how far back they're going to go. In excess of 340,000 policies have been sold, a lot of them incorrectly. It remains to be seen what the terms of reference of refunds in terms of mis-selling that will take place as a result of the review. That person mentions they have a credit card with MBNA. They weren't one of the institutions that were included in the instruction that I saw that was published as regards the list of banks. But I wouldn't worry too much, because I think what will happen is that they will extend this to all providers who sold these products in the past. Once the review of the major banks is concluded. You don't need to do anything if you have taken out one of these policies in the past. It'll come out in terms of the results of the review when they are published, and the banks will be instructed to contact individual policyholders if they've been missold this, and I would estimate that the refunds will be quite substantial, because the premiums in these policies were substantial.
Quite substantial. Finally, I recently carried out a check with the Credit Bureau in connection with my credit ratings, this caller said. To my horror, I discovered that 2 of the loans that I have from different banks show payments in arrears. I've always been on time with each payment, and I have made, and I'm wondering, how could this happen? Can you advise what to do?
Get in touch with the banks that you have the borrowings with and ask them to change the record with the Credit Bureau. The Credit Bureau, if you like, is only a clearinghouse, if you like, for all of this information. They can't physically change their records. But I would recommend people to consider checking their credit rating with the Bureau, even if they're not applying for any sort of finance from any institution, and not just because of the debacle with Ulster Bank as regards missed payments and problems with their system. I have come across a number of cases where banks have incorrectly given information to the Credit Bureau on people's repayment history, and in some cases it's been very serious. So I would just suggest that if you have had a number of loans or do have borrowings, and if you have over the last number of years, that you just go on to icb.ie, that's the Credit Bureau website. You pay a small fee, submit the application, and then get back the results, because everything may be fine, but I think it's a reassurance factor if it is. But you may be horrified if you discover, like in this particular case, that the records are incorrect, and it is something that will have an impact on your credit rating. And as I said, unfortunately, in the last number of years, some banks have been have incorrectly informed the Bureau about repayment records of people, and it can have major consequences for you.
All right, Dave, thanks today for joining us. Dave McCarthy of McCarthy & Associates. You can contact him on 566022, or you can write to Dave McCarthy, Galway BFM, Sandy Road in Galway, and we'll give him those questions the day before, and he can have them sorted for you.